Lighting is pretty difficult. It took me ages to figure it out, and it can be pretty costly. So in this video, I want to take you through my video podcasting lighting setups. I've got two different ones. It makes a huge difference if you actually get your lighting right, whether it's online calls or whether it's podcasting in person. I can show you both things. I mean, just to show you the difference, what if I do this? Yeah, doesn't look good, does it? It makes such a difference when you turn it all off. You've got nothing in the background, nothing in the foreground. Right, let's get back to normal. That's better, looking a bit nicer again. So let's take a look at what I'm using. I can show you all of the lights in this room, show you what I'm using, give you some alternatives, give you all the gear, and we can get that sorted for you. Now, before you start, I'd love to hear, always like to know what podcasters are watching this video. So pop it in below, go in the comments and let me know what your show is. I'd love to hear. Otherwise, let's jump into the lights. Okay, just to show you the setup, please do excuse the lighting here, obviously. Can't use it when I'm showing you it. But this is where I sit for recording. I've got my camera up here normally. That teleprompter usually has the camera behind it, which is what I use for recording. So that's what I was recording the first section of this video on. And then on one side, I have this newer LED light. So that is a standard mounted Newer. I'll put links for everything in the description below. So that is an LED there. And then that does have a softbox attached to it as well. So this softbox is interesting. It has a diffuser on the front, which makes the light nice and soft, more flattering, less showing on the wrinkles, all that kind of stuff. But the fact that it has a circular appearance to it as well means that it gives you that nice circular appearance as the reflection on your eyeballs as well, which is a subtle little thing, but it does make quite a difference when you're recording as well. So nice LED from Newer there with the softbox on the top. And if we look to the other side, we have a different type of light. So this is the same LED light, but this time around I have a grid on it. So let's have a quick look at that. So a grid light like this is designed to direct the light. Stops the spill onto the background, really directs the light onto the subject only. Really good for a key light. So I use this one for taking away a bit of the shadow on this side of my face, but not lighting up the background. Whereas the other one on the left-hand side is okay for lighting up the background just a touch. Okay, let's have a quick look at the background now as well. So a couple of simple ones. I've got a set of Ikea strip LEDs here. They're pretty standard ones from Ikea, $20, £20 or so just to get them. Interestingly, they just attach segments like that. So they're really easy to do. So they're nice to light up the inside of the boxes, which makes a nice difference. And then over here, I actually have just an absolutely normal lamp just got from the local DIY shop. Importantly, I got a colder bulb to put in that one. So that's much higher on the Kelvin scale, 5,000 or so Kelvins. That's much cooler on the temperature scale, much whiter rather than the warm orange type light. So it just kind of gives it a contrast to the rest of them. Because then I've got some standard Ikea type fairy lights at the back, just strung along the back as well. And on top, I have some Philips Hue lighting. So those Philips Hue lights are really good because they're completely colored controllable. So from my phone I can make this one pink, make that one blue. I can change the environment as much as I like, and that gives me really nice flexibility in that background as well. So I'll put a link to those Philips strip lights as well in the description because they're really nice. They're a bit expensive, those ones, but they just work so nicely. They work so well. Great color range that you can get with them. And I've got another Philips over there, a Philips Go, that I've got on the other side. I'll show you next. So a couple of things to note over here. We've got that Philips light, which again is controlled by my phone or the app. So I can change the color on that. That gives it a nice back to front color on both sides. So a bit of purple here, blue and pink over that side. And then I've got just again another normal stand lamp from your local DIY store. And I bought a huge big bulb that goes in that as well. This one much more warm on the color scale compared to the cold one over the other side. And I just like the look of that one just to give a wee kind of highlight the spiral. So you can buy those kind of bulbs quite easily from DIY stores as well. Here in the UK, it's in B&Q. In the US, I'm sure you'll find something very equivalent as well. Now over here is a different area altogether. You'll have seen from the little tour that it's the same room, just a different corner. But I've designed it with a black background just for different types of videos. And I've got a table here that I can record with somebody in person too. So the lighting here is set up so that because it's a dark background, I found it was really good with a bit of a backlight as well. So this spot on the top of the stand light here actually gives it a nice little background. So usually I move around the camera, so that's kind of behind the head a little bit. And then you've got this vertical light as well, which actually gives it a nice gradient across the background. Normally I would have that out of shot, so the camera would be more over here so that you can see it. So normally that would it would just see the gradient on the background rather than the stand itself, and that spotlight would look a bit more normal in that case. Other than that, I've actually just turned around the grid light, so that's now facing at me from here. So it's quite nice that I have that already there. And sometimes I'll bring over my softbox and bring it over here as well to give even more light on that side. And the final element of this is another Ikea strip just right here. And then I have another custom bulb. So one bulb that I bought, massive big thing, cost me about £10 I think. And just a normal little lamp stand at the very bottom. That was from Amazon for about $5. That makes up the background. I tended to keep that background lighting quite simple, not to overwhelm the rest of it, but I feel that gives it a good effect. Hopefully you can see that in the other videos where I've used this set for recording. So there you have it. There's my setup for video podcasting, both if I'm doing it online on a call or over there at a table. Hope that's useful, giving you some tips around things that you might be able to use in your own studio, because it does always depend on your own space. What suits your place, your little studio. I'll put links, of course, in the description below for all of the gear that I've talked about here. So if you need to buy any of it, or if you want to grab any of it, pop down there. It does support the channel if you use our links. So that'd be much appreciated. Otherwise, please do subscribe if you like this content. Get loads more about podcasting, video podcasting, all sorts of content creation advice. Hit that subscribe button and you'll see me here again. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.